we have a brand new legendary brawler joining the game, and his name is Leon.
Leon is a medium-range brawler, but what's really cool about him is his super. It's invisibility.
His super lets him go invisible for a short amount of time. Also, taking damage or attacking will remove the invisibility briefly. This is really, really interesting, and it's going to open up some amazing dynamics between counters and other brawlers that are already out there.
And then in the mid of the month, we're going to introduce the new brawler, Gene.
Brand new brawler. His name is Carl, and he is a pickaxe-wielding geologist from the gem mine. His main attack is throwing that pickaxe like a boomerang, and his super allows him to leap forward with a whirlwind attack, damaging all of the brawlers around him. I know, if you're like me, you cannot wait to get your hands on Carl, so keep an eye out because he's coming mid-March.
Newest brawler. Her name is Rosa, and she's a boxing botanist who has survived in the jungle by punching plants in the face. Danny, what is her main attack?
So her main attack is called Hands of Stone and works pretty much like El Primo's attack, but it's a bit wider.
And her super is really cool. It's a brand new mechanic in the game. She'll have a shield that is made from tough vines that decreases all of the damage she receives.
And since she came from the jungle, her star power is called Plant Life, and it makes her regain health every time she's inside a bush, which makes probably the most tankiest brawler in the game.
And that is Rosa, our newest, coolest, plantiest brawler that will come in this update.
So what we know about the new brawler is that her name is Bibi, and she's a badass girl with her trusted baseball bat, and she's gonna wreak havoc on the battlefield.
So how about her game mechanics?
So unlike other brawlers, she has a little something extra. She has 3 swings with a baseball bat, but if she's not using any of them, there's a small extra bar which charges. If that bar is full, her next swing also knocks back enemies. This update is a new brawler. His name is Tick.
Tick is a metal ball of barely containable energy. His main attack is throwing proximity mines onto the battlefield that will detonate when enemy brawlers walk over them, or after a short delay. And his super is amazing. He detaches his head, throws it on the battlefield, and it will go homing after enemy brawlers until it explodes. But if you're on the enemy team, you can shoot and destroy that head before it gets to you. Finally, we have some really good news because Tick is free for all players after 4,000 trophies on the trophy room. Yes, so the new brawler is called 8-Bit. He's a little arcade machine that will run around the battlefield shooting a laser. And he's super tanky. He's quite slow, wouldn't you say?
Super slow. I think it's the slowest brawler ever.
He's by far the slowest brawler. He's got feet made of cement, or I don't know what arcade machines are made of.
It's very old, you know.
It's very old. But his super is really neat. He's got a turret he can throw on the battlefield, and any brawler on your team within this turret's range gets a damage boost.
And also, he will be in the trophy road at 6,000 trophies.
That's the one. So if you're above 6,000, you get 8-Bit for free.
Start with the brawler because it's legendary.
Let's do it. Sandy is our newest legendary brawler. He's really cool. Looks a little bit like Tara and Jean, I would say.
Yeah, kind of purplish.
Kind of purplish. Now, Sandy's a bit sleepy, and his main attack is, of course, throwing sand. So he throws sand at his opponents, and it kind of goes through them, similar to Nita or Tara or Poco.
Throwing sand isn't a low blow.
It's a very dirty move. Sandy's not the nicest brawler.
And his super, he actually throws a sandstorm in the field. And then every brawler that's there, every ally brawler, not every brawler, that is there is invisible.
That's right. And in addition, Sandy's star power, for those in that field, enemies will be damaged while they're there.
Like a proper sandstorm.
That's right. We got a new brawler called Ems.
So Ems, it's a social media star and also a zombie. She uses a hairspray as her main attack. Could you explain us a bit?
Yeah, again, she's a zombie, so she's using the hairspray to smell good. And
that's not what hairspray is
for. And her main attack is literally a cloud of hairspray moving forward and then standing in place for a moment. It causes damage over time on the whole area and also lingers for a moment. So it's a really nice tool for area denial.
Her super's really cool too. It's a big area of effect that damages brawlers inside of it.
It also slows them down.
And it's a pretty big area of effect that follows her. It's about the size of Sandy's, except it will follow her around as she moves.
And you know what's cool about her? She's free at 8,000 trophies.
What about the Brawlers? First and foremost, we've got Bee. She's an entomologist and Rosa's assistant.
So her main attack, she needs to hit her target, so her next hit gets stronger.
That's right. She's got a sniper attack that uses bee helper drones as the bullets. And her super is really cool. She actually fires a little swarm of bees that can go through walls and slows and poisons her
There's
enemies.
also Max. She wants to be a superhero, but she's not quite there, so she drinks a lot of energy drinks and she uses turbines to go super fast.
Max is super duper speedy, and she fires a lot of quick bursts of bullets. Her super attack is really, really special. She drops this little radius that speeds up all friendly brawlers around her, so you can race across the battlefield. In addition, coming in this update, we have a new brawler. His name is Mr. P. He's an amazing brawler. His main attack is a little bit of a shooting projectile, and then when it hits its target, it does a little bounce with some area of effect damage.
His super is a spawning item, and from this item you have little penguin drones spawning, and these then go on and attack enemies with a ranged attack.
The things we are seeing in March. First, the brawler, Jacky.
That's right, Jacky is a new super rare brawler coming with the update. She's very loud, she has a jackhammer, and because her tools are so loud, she annoys the out of Carl.
She's part of the Carl and Mike gang, and you can see her hopping with her jackhammer. And her attack, you don't have to aim. It's just like an area around her, which means that's really strong, but you have to be close to the brawler to actually do some damage.
That's exactly right, and her super's really neat. It pulls in all nearby brawlers and does damage to them.
Hello.
Let's talk about the new brawler, Gale. Gale is a cranky old guy, and he's somewhat of a janitor in Mr. P's hotel. He's overworked, he's carrying way too heavy luggage for his age, and genuinely, he should have been replaced by a robot years ago.
His main attack is throwing multiple snowballs at his enemies, and his super is like a snowblower that blows brawlers away like a gale wind.
So Gale will be our first chromatic brawler, and he's a guaranteed drop in the Brawl Pass, but he's also available for everyone else at legendary probability.
My mistake.
We've got a brand new chromatic brawler for you called Surge, and he's maybe one of the most unique brawlers we've ever made.
His main attack is kind of like a combination of Spike and Jean. You throw a projectile, and then when it hits the enemy, it divides into other projectiles.
That's right, and his super is really interesting. Every time you use Surge's super, he upgrades himself, and his attacks become different, and he becomes stronger. You can do that a maximum of 3 times, but if you're defeated, you lose all those upgrades, so stay alive.
That leads us to the new chromatic brawler, Colette.
Colette is a cashier in the gift shop, and she loves her job because she gets to collect all kinds of brawler items, and she's close to her favorite things in the world, the brawlers.
She's Piper's and Spike's biggest fan. At a certain point that starts to get a little creepy, like almost a stalker, I guess.
And her main attack is really interesting. This is a mechanic we have never done before. She deals a percentage of damage based on her target's health. So if she's attacking someone like El Primo, she'll do a lot of damage. But if she's attacking someone with a tiny bit of health, she'll do a tiny bit of damage. Except for boxes, where she'll do a flat rate.
And what's interesting about her super is that it's kind of similar like Bull. She runs across the map, but she returns to the starting point after that. And every brawler she hits on the way gets...
This bandstand is also the home of our newest brawler, Amber. She's a legendary, and she's all about fire. To compete with Poco and El Primo as entertainers, she decided to juggle fire, spit fire, and she's not very good at it.
Her main attack is a new unique mechanic where as long as she's aiming the attack button, she will deplete
ammo with that fire.
And her super, once again, is throwing a bottle of oil. It spills then on the ground and she can ignite it. It stays there for a while, so she can just save it up for the right moment.
And she'll be available on the day after the update, both in boxes and in the shop. Takes me to the chromatic brawler Lou.
Lou is the newest brawler. He's the third member of Gale and Mr. P's trio. He is a happy robotic snow cone machine.
So for his main attack, he throws snow cones. Every time he hits the enemy gets a snow cone mark. If the enemy gets a certain number of snow cone marks, the enemy gets frozen for some seconds.
His super is throwing cold syrup all over the ground that makes it super slippery for enemy brawlers. Right off the bat with our newest brawler, Byron. He is a sinister salesman who is also a support brawler. He is going to be the third member of Piper and Barley's trio, and he can sell you whatever you need to boost you up or damage your enemies.
Byron plays a little bit differently than our previous support brawlers. His attacks either harm the enemy with a damage over time, or they heal his friends with a heal over time. So exactly what you need in the right situation.
And for his super, Byron will throw a vial on the floor that will damage or heal a brawler depending on whether it's an enemy. Frank, what could be better than 13 presents?
A new brawler?
Better.
2 new brawlers?
Better.
Oh no, you didn't.
That's right. While we have Frank distracted in the studio, we made our second brawler free. His name is Edgar, and he is epic.
Edgar is an edgy teenager who works together with Colette in the gift shop. He wants to be cool and mysterious, but he can't quite pull it off really.
He's a fast melee brawler who attacks with his scarf, but he has pretty low health, which is why he also heals when he attacks.
His super, very much like Daryl, charges by itself, and it makes him leap over obstacles to get close up to his prey. So you can wait and see for the best moment and then leap on your target.
Edgar is going to be free during the Brawler days, so be sure to grab him when he comes out. After that, he'll still be available in boxes, but you don't want to miss out. Colonel Ruffs is the colonel of the Star Force spaceship. He is a master strategist, our newest chromatic brawler, and a dog?
Now for Ruff's main attack, he shoots 2 parallel projectiles that when it hits a wall it bounces. So it's kind of like Rico's, but a bit different because it's 2 at the same time, so you can have like interesting results.
Colonel Ruffs is a support brawler, so for his super, he brings down a supply drop from space that can damage enemies when it lands and brings power up for your team.
Time no trophy road brawler, right?
That's right. Stu is a sentient crash test robot and is used to test attractions in the Star Park. However, as user studies have shown, people really like to see him crash, so he ended up being in a stunt show.
He's our new trophy road brawler, and his main attacks are shots of pyrotechnics from his fingertips. And you think it's simple because they follow like a straight line. However, the twist is that it charges a super with only 1 hit.
Okay, and the super is a dash forward, short range, leaves a trail of fire behind it, and has knockback. And that comes in especially handy when you play a game mode like Brawl.
True. And he's free at 10,000 trophies in the trophy road. And we are going back to our Wild West roots with Belle.
Belle is the chromatic brawler of the season. She's an outlaw who likes to rob banks in any town she can find.
And she's a sharpshooter, and with her main attack, she attacks the target and the projectile keeps bouncing back and forth among the enemies until they spread out.
That's right, and for her super, she fires a special bullet. Then after it hits the target, that target will take extra damage from any source.
Squeak? And Squeak who?
The new brawler.
Belle doesn't squeak.
No! Squeak is the second brawler that's coming in this update. He's part of Colonel Ruff's Star Force trio and an alien being that has evolved from the cumulative drool on Ruff's dog toys.
That's true, and he throws explosive toys towards the enemies, and the toys stick to walls and the brawler because of all the drooling.
That's right, and his super is a frag bomb that when thrown on the map occupies a large area and explodes. So you'll have to be quick if you want to evade it.
He's gonna be released in May, and he will come with a mythic rarity. Nation of dinosaurs and summer, we present to you Buzz.
Buzz is the lifeguard of the Velocirapids water park and is also the chromatic brawler for this season.
So he's not very good at his job due to his size and his short arms, but he loves to enforce rules and tell people what to do, or better, tell people what not to do.
Speaking of what not to do, if I was you, I would run away from him. He's a short-range brawler who throws a series of punches.
But running might not be enough, because with his super, he can throw his life buoy at an enemy or a wall, and then he can pull himself towards it. And then if he does that against a brawler, he can stun the brawler for a short while. So hey Paula, how about the third member of the gift shop trio?
Oh yeah, Colette's and Edgar's boss, Griff. He's an epic brawler. He's very greedy and, to be honest, not the most caring person. He uses tips from Edgar's and Colette's tip jar to attack.
And those tips work in an interesting way. He tosses 9 coins and they spread out the further they go. So you can annoy people from very far, but the real damage happens if the enemy is next to you.
As for his super, he throws 5 sharp-edged banknotes in a white cone, dealing damage on the way in and on the way back. The farther away the opponents are, the greater is the damage. And on the way back, they can go over walls.
And look at that. You can get Griff for free with a challenge in July. And if you beat the challenge, you get Griff before everyone else.
But don't worry, if you don't beat the challenge, you will be able to get Griff anyway from boxes or from the shop once he's released the following week.
The brawler is Ash, the trash knight.
Ash is a very grumpy cleaner at the castle courtyard. And due to the big amount of trash and rats that he finds out there, he needs to protect himself with an improvised armor, which is an actual trash bin.
As for his main attack, he creates a shockwave when he hits the ground with his broomstick, and everyone that is in line will get hit by it, and also it charges his rage bar.
But his rage bar also gets charged when he gets hit, because it makes so much noise inside his last-minute armor that he just gets angrier and angrier.
And when his rage bar gets fully charged, he gets stronger and faster for a short while. And also, he's not alone in the battle against Dirt.
Because for his super, he gets help from his RATS bot, which will attack the closest enemy they find. No, it's Meg, our newest legendary brawler.
Meg is the third member of Max and Surge trio, and she's a vending machine repair girl, which is super smart, but she also wants to be a hero like Max and Surge.
But Max doesn't think she's ready yet, so she never lets her join the battle. But it doesn't matter, because Meg always goes anyway.
So Meg has a small bolt gun and does little damage from a medium range. And she also doesn't have a lot of health points.
But that's okay, because the magic happens when she charges her super.
That's right, Paula. When she uses her super, she calls her vending machine repair bot and she becomes unstoppable.
Her main attack then becomes 2 deadly laser cannons that shoot 8 projectiles rapid fire.
And her super button gets a different mechanic. It becomes a secondary attack that deals massive damage to all the enemies within its range.
And this one charges itself pretty quickly, but it doesn't charge with the bot's main attack.
But be careful, because when Meg is on her bot, her HP starts to decay slowly, so it's only a matter of time until she goes back to her initial form.
However, once her health points reach 0, her bot breaks and she's back in the match. So the only way to defeat her is by eliminating her initial form. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Lola, the chromatic brawler of this season. She's a movie star in Brawllywood who is extremely obsessed with herself and will do whatever it takes to always be in the spotlight.
She's also into bright and shiny things. With her main attack, she uses the diamond eyes of her fake fox scarf to shoot sparkly stars that deal damage in a tight and mid-range cone.
And for her super, she throws her diamond necklace on the floor, performing a scenic trick that creates a duplicated image of herself.
This clone has less health than the original Lola, but will follow her moves and mimic her powers. So whenever she attacks, her reflection will attack as well. Let's start with Grom, our new epic brawler. A security guard in the castle in Star Park who is best friends with his walkie-talkie and terrified of kids?
Yep, so to hide his fear, he uses a happy-looking hoodie over his face.
He's a damage dealer who's throwing bombs that explodes in 4 different directions when they touch the floor.
His super is very similar, but a lot bigger, more destructive, and it can also destroy walls.
So how is this related to Brawly Days?
Because you can get him for free during the Brawly Days challenge, which starts on December 23rd. The format will be similar to the previous challenge for Griff, 3 vs 3 game modes with retries.
New season, new brawler. Fang will be our next chromatic brawler coming with the new Brawl Pass season in January. He works at the local cinema in Star Park, but he's also an aspiring actor, usually in lower budget martial art movies.
Fang is a melee brawler that can kick everyone in his way. Unlike El Primo, Rosa or Buzz, he doesn't throw a series of attacks, but just one instead, which is harder to hit but does a lot more damage.
And if he misses his kick, his shoe flies away in the same direction of his attack. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but could be a good strategy to charge up his super. It also looks funny too.
His super is quite different though. He unleashes a powerful flying kick that if it hits an enemy, it will connect to another target, if the target is within Fang's super range. This can happen up to 4 times in total. He could literally wipe a whole team with just one super if you play it right.
Speaking of weird but cute, Eve is the newest brawler of the season. She's a very small alien flea in a spaceship who is joining Ruffs' trio.
She's a loving mother that just wants to find a place for her babies, even if that means disintegrating anyone in her way.
With her main attack, she shoots 3 eggs in a row. They all have different sizes and damage.
And with her super, she releases a big egg that hatches after some seconds and spawns 3 hatchlings. If the hatchlings are not destroyed before latching onto the closest enemy, they will deal damage over time.
Eve has a very unique trait too. Since she's flying on her spaceship all the time, she can hover over certain terrains like water and holes. Janet is joining Stu's trio and she's the new chromatic brawler in the Brawl Pass.
She's not only an acrobatic performer and a singer, but also the star of the show.
With her main attack, she sings a loud note towards the opponents that causes damage in a cone. The more you hold the aim button, the narrower and longer the cone gets.
And to perform her stunts besides Stu, her super activates her jetpack that enables her to fly over everything for a few seconds. While in the air, she also attacks enemies on the ground.
Bonnie is Janet's little sister and also part of Stu's trio. All of them perform on Star Park's stunt show.
She's a reckless and overly excited girl who's famous in the park for her most daring trick, being shot from a cannon.
Which leads me to her abilities. So she has 2 different forms that can be activated by pressing the super, kinda like Meg. But the difference is that she can only go to her default form if she uses her super again.
So in her cannon form, she moves slowly and can attack from far. She has only 1 ammo slot, so she can't unload her ammo too fast.
And with her super, she shoots herself from her cannon and deals damage when landing. It will also activate her second form.
In her outside the cannon form, she moves super fast and deals lots of damage at close range. And when she uses her super again, she takes some time to transform into cannon mode, but when she does, she regains part of her health back.
And Bonnie will be available later in the season. Otis is a mysterious creature who lives in the depths of Star Park and expresses himself with his street art on any wall he sees.
With his arm hose, he shoots 4 paintballs in a straight line and they mildly spread the further they go.
For his super, he uses his starfish friend Seal, who disables every ability your target has. While Seals is stuck to an enemy brawler, they can't attack, use gadgets, or activate their super.
However, they can still move and run for their lives. Also a perfect link to our newest chromatic brawler, Sam.
He's the second member of Belle's trio and literally her partner in crime. He also has some personal beef with all the robots in Star Park.
His playstyle feels very unique to Brawl. When equipped with his knuckle busters, he does a stronger close-range attack that can hit multiple enemies at the same time. When he doesn't have them, his attacks are not as powerful, but they are faster.
And while he has his knuckle busters, his super bar is always full, meaning he's the first brawler who already starts with his super available.
Activating his super with his knuckle busters on will throw them and will damage everything on their way. He also gets a temporary speed buff. Activating the super again will then call his knuckle busters back to his arms and damage everything on their way back.
While Sun doesn't have his weapon, he'll have to charge his super in the normal way, by hitting his attacks. Or he can collect his knuckle buster again. We'll have a second brawler which will be released later in September.
Gus is a very weird kid in his PJs and looks like he hasn't touched grass for a while.
But besides his catchy vibes, Gus is actually a support brawler with the ability to heal and protect allies.
For every attack Gus hits, he charges a new bar. Once this bar is full, the next attack you hit will drop a ghost in the map. If your allies touch this ghost, they will heal. You can drop multiple ghosts in the map.
With his super, he's able to cast a shield either on his allies or on himself. To cast it on allies, you should aim and hit your shot. To use it on yourself, you just tap the super button as if you would be auto-aiming. Here is the projector guy at Star Park Cinema who... Hey, could you please get the background right? Anyway, he also dreams of becoming an action movie star himself.
He's part of Fang's trio and he's also his best buddy.
For his main attack, Buster unleashes a wave of light towards his enemies. The closer he is to his target, the more damage he does.
He's a tank brawler who can protect his teammates. When he uses his super, he creates a wall of light that blocks any incoming projectiles.
It can block literally anything come towards his shield, but it doesn't prevent attacks from above, so watch out for throwers out there.
And single projectile attacks can also be reflected by his shield, so it's not a good idea to attack Buster from the front while his shield is on.
Meet Mandy and Chester, two new brawlers for the Candyland season.
Mandy, the Brawl Pass brawler, is the CEO of the Star Park's Candyland. She seems sweet, but that's only a front for the customers. When she's alone, she's always cranky, either because Chester is annoying her or because customers keep acting like customers.
Mandy is a sharpshooter with the longest range in the game, but that's only if she stands still and charges her range bar. If she moves, her attack goes back to the normal sharpshooter range.
And speaking of long range, Mandy's super shoots a beam of sugar that can literally reach the end of the map. It does take a while to charge, so the opponent still has some time to run. But if they don't, they will be destroyed.
Because this moment is gonna be legend.
Wait for it.
Dairy. That's it. Chester is a legendary brawler.
Mandy has a love and hate, well, mostly hate, relationship with Chester, but there is a good reason for that.
Chester is a chaotic prankster who is extremely annoying. He's the guy who won't stop playing pranks on everyone. He finds it funny, but only because that's how he shows affection.
His main attack is a sequence of projectiles that always follow the same logic. So the first attack shoots 1 projectile, the second shoots 3 projectiles, and the third shoots 5.
They keep following this pattern. It doesn't matter how much ammo you have left, so you can use it to your advantage if you keep track of your attacks.
Chester is also the first brawler with a randomized super. True story.
He has in total 5 different supers, and you won't know which one you are going to get until you charge it up and look at the super icon. Sounds insane, but it's quite easy to memorize.
His supers are throwing a bomb, slowing enemies in a certain area, poisoning enemies in a cone, healing himself, and a direct stunning attack. So you will know which super you have up your sleeve, but your opponent will have
Now we
to
can
guess.
properly present Gray.
Along with Lola, Gray is the second brawler of the Brawleywood trio.
Lola is a soap opera star and super dramatic, but Gray makes silent, artsy underground movies. When they do perform together, Lola always wants the spotlight for herself.
For his main attack, he shoots lines from his fingers with his mind powers.
And he's the first brawler with portals. Gray can create 2 portals and teleport brawlers across the map. The first portal always spawns wherever Gray is, and the second one he throws within his super range. Both Gray and his allies can use the portal, so be careful not to send your teammate to a bad spot.
And guess what? You can get Gray for free by completing a quest.
It's super easy. The quest will already be available when the update lands, and it will run for about 1 month. So make sure to complete it before it's too late. RT is the newest chromatic brawler. It's a surveillance robot helping to actually solve the mystery at the hub.
RT has eyes and ears on everything that happens at Star Park, like literally everything.
He can access all of the Star Park's hidden cameras, so just in case you are ever there, just smile, because you're probably being filmed.
RT keeps data on every brawler out there, so if you need any secret brawler intel, check with RT.
If RT's main attack hits the target, it will give it a mark. When marked, the target will get more damage from any attack going their way. Once the target gets damaged, the mark gets removed.
It's also possible to mark multiple targets simultaneously, so it's a good idea to hit brawlers on the other lanes to help your team out.
For its super, RT splits in 2, so its legs stay wherever the super was used, then you control its upper body. RT's attack then change to a circle area around it, and every time RT's upper body attacks, the lower half will do the same. So you can control 2 zones at the same time.
RT marks targets in both forms, and when you use the super again, RT will return to its assemble mode and heal itself. Willow is a mythic brawler and part of a new trio. She's the guardian of the Tunnel of Love, which is in the swamp area next to Mortis's mortuary.
Willow manipulates people with the things they love.
She throws her lantern at her targets, and they work similarly to Barley's attack, except that when they hit their target, they deliver poison damage over time.
Things get interesting with her super. She throws one of her tadpoles into her target's mind, taking control over the enemy brawler for a period of time. You can use normal attacks, but you can't use their super or gadgets.
To escape Willow's mind control, you can wait until the effect ends, defeat Willow while she's controlling someone, or attack the brawler who is under control.
If the controlled brawler gets low health, they can free themselves.
When Willow controls a brawler, she fully heals them and the controlled brawler can't be defeated. So use it wisely because it can backfire.
Let's start with the chromatic brawler, Maisie.
Maisie is a safety assistant at the Star Theater. She ensures nobody gets hurt in Brawleywood's movie productions.
Especially when it comes to Buster and Fang, as they are always in some sort of trouble.
She has a love-hate relationship with them and is pretty much their big sister.
Maisie's main attack, Pressure Rocket, is a single projectile that starts slow but then accelerates.
It has a long range, medium damage and medium-sized projectiles.
Maisie is shooting the ground and creates a shockwave for her super, dealing damage and knocking back other brawlers around her.
It's quite powerful and it doesn't get activated immediately. But of course, if you're close by, there's likely no escape. Meet Fang, Shrimp Extraordinaire, and Fish Tank Commander Supreme, and our new epic brawler.
His Balloon Blast is an attack that gets bigger and stronger the longer you charge it, and he will have to recover a bit before he can attack again. The maximum charge is 3 seconds. After that, you can still hold it, but it won't get any stronger.
Hank's super is a school of fish torpedoes, which launch all around him. They will keep going until they hit a target or a wall.
Either way, it's the home of our newest brawler, Cordelius.
He used to be a normal gardener in the park, but the toxicity of the place drove him mad, and he ended up getting stuck at that place.
He still enjoys some gardening occasionally though.
Cordelius' main attack are 2 rapid mushrooms he throws with his gardening tools. They deal quite a lot of damage, but their range is short.
To make up for the short range, he's a very fast brawler, and he can also charge his super by being next to the opponents.
If he hits his super, he transports his and his opponent's minds to a different reality.
In this reality, Cordelius gets a speed and a reload speed buff, and his targets can't use their super or gadgets, but they can still run and attack.
You stay in this reality for a determined amount of time, or until you defeat the enemy brawler or get defeated by them.
And during Cordelius' super, none of the other brawlers can interfere with this combat. Duck is the newest member of the Velociraptor's water park, and he's the most chill and friendly dinosaur you can meet.
He doesn't worry about anything at all, and that's because he can heal everyone around him with his main attack.
The closer you are to Duck, the more you get healed, and if you are on the opposing team, it follows the same logic, but of course, it deals damage instead.
Doug is the first brawler who can revive another, or himself.
He throws a floaty hot dog at his teammates that he can also use on himself. If you get defeated while you have the hot dog mark, you immediately respawn at the same place.
This hot dog mark expires though, just like a real hot dog, so you have to time it correctly to be able to use it effectively. And Pearl is the new chromatic brawler of the season, and she's now completing Sam and Belle's trio.
Pearl is a cookie oven robot created by Sam and Belle, and she's like a daughter to them.
If you mess with Sam and Belle, Pearl will go after you with the anger of 1,000 burning cookies.
And yeah, that's her main attack, hot cookies. She spreads a series of cookies in medium range. Most of the cookies won't hit the target if you are a bit distant, but it's pretty easy to hit at least one of them.
For her super, she quickly explodes and knocks back everything within a short radius around her. It also destroys walls.
What's different about Pearl is that she has this heat bar. The higher the heat inside her oven, the hotter cookies will be, and so, the higher the damage.
The heat bar keeps charging while you are not attacking, and when it's complete, she overheats, causing max damage with both her main and her super attack.
Once you attack or use the super, the hit bar
Chuck
cools
is the
down.
new brawler coming in October.
He used to be an orchestra conductor before he joined Star Park, and now he's still a conductor, but for trains.
The darkness and the weird noises from the ghost station inspire his music while he travels between stops.
And every once in a while, he performs his act to Gus when he mysteriously shows up.
He shoots a cloud of hot steam from his head with his main attack, and it can hit the target 3 times.
And his super is really different. He can throw train signs on the floor and then he dashes between them.
There's a certain number of train signs you can drop on the ground, and you can't connect signs if they are behind a wall. But if you set up your signs right, you can dash across the entire map.
So it's up to your creativity and strategy on where you want to place those signs.
It sounds very complex, but once you start playing, you get used to it. But remember to check the Brawl content creator videos for a full breakdown of the brawler.
Meet Charlie, the first brawler of this new area and also the first of her trio.
She grew up on the streets, learned impressive tricks, and was eventually discovered by the local bizarre circus.
And the job pays the rent, so she took it and quickly became the main attraction.
Charlie uses her hair as a yo-yo for her main attack. It moves straight and returns when it hits a target or a wall.
so the closer the target, the faster she can attack.
And her super is called Cocoon, and the name kinda gives it away already.
If Charlie hits an enemy target, she cocoons them. While cocooned, they can't do anything but wait.
The Cocoon's health gets depleted by itself, but your allies can help destroy it faster if they attack it. Talking about Brawler Days, Mico, the first of our 3 new Brawlers, will be released on December 14 for free as part of our Brawler Days calendar.
He's completing the Brawlywood trio together with Lola and Griff.
He thinks he's the biggest director/actor in the movie industry, but he's actually operating the boom mic in Brawlywood's productions.
Mico is the first brawler that jumps with his main attack. He can't be attacked while in midair, and he deals damage where he lands.
He can jump over walls, holes, and even projectiles, but he doesn't have a lot of hit points, and his reload speed is quite slow.
With his super, he jumps into the air and you can control where he lands. The target location is also shown to opponents.
Moving on to January. Our legendary arrived a bit late, but it was worth the wait. It's Kit, the cat brawler.
He's part of a Meow Park area called Startoon Studios, and he has played multiple cat roles in every type of cartoon.
This has made him become super famous, but he doesn't feel complete by being only a cartoon cat, which is what he actually is.
Kit uses his claws for his main attack and has a short range, but is really quick.
With his super, he can jump on either allies or opponents.
If he jumps on an ally, he heals them and himself, and his main attack changes and he then becomes a thrower.
If he dashes onto an enemy, he then scratches the enemy for some time.
When Kit is attached to somebody, he becomes invulnerable, and you either have to take down the host or wait for him to jump off.
He's supercharged automatically. Probably noticed how unsafe Star Park was, right? But fear no more, Larry and Lawrie are coming to protect you.
They are the law in Star Park, and they have the classic good bot, bad bot dynamic.
They are joining Artie's trio, and they help him on keeping the order at Star Park.
Larry, the good bot, throws tickets that cause damage in an area and explode twice.
As for his super, Larry calls for help from his big brother Lawrie and throws him into the arena.
Lawrie then follows the closest target and shoots at them with a pacifier.
Oh, what's something everyone loves? Exactly, mosquitoes. Angelo is the first new brawler in this update, joining Willow's trio.
This brawler lives in a swampy love tunnel at Star Park and loves gossiping about brawlers to make them fight each other.
Angelo is a sharpshooter, and the longer you hold the aim, the stronger the attacks get.
Besides that, Angelo can also hover over water, like a mosquito.
With the super, Angelo summons a part of the swamp and it damages all the enemies inside.
It also makes Angelo's own attack more powerful by adding poison to the arrows that deal damage over
Someone
time.
who's a bit more pleasant to listen to.
Melodie is a mythic brawler and the second of the update, arriving in late March.
She's a popular karaoke singer at Star Park and has some mood swings.
Sometimes she's sweet and delicate as a rose, and sometimes harsh as its thorns.
She's an assassin that has a long-range attack that deals moderate damage.
But what makes her strong is that every time she hits a target, she gets a musical note around her.
These musical notes keep spinning around her and deal damage on contact.
She can have up to 3 musical notes around her, and they will gradually disappear after some time.
Once she charges her super, she gets 3 dashes that must be used during the same super activation.
And you can't recharge your super unless you use all 3 dashes first.
The idea is pretty much to get your musical notes around you and then dash onto the enemy.
Hey guys, what do you call a sneaky plant? An ambush.
Lily is a new mythic assassin and part of Cordelius' crew. But is she a friend or foe?
Once a human girl, Lily was transformed after chasing a firefly into the enchanted woods and being captured by a magic flower.
She's now part human, part plant, part firefly, and all-powerful.
Lily has a fast, one-ammo, close-range attack and charges her super when she's near enemies.
Her super, Flourish, is where Lily really shows off her powers, firing a plant-based projectile at an enemy, dealing damage and teleporting behind them if she hits.
Her mastery title is Backstabber, which she most certainly earns with
This
that
next
super.
brawler is for all the metalheads out there.
I've trained my whole life for this moment.
Draco is a new legendary brawler and he's ready to shred.
He belongs to this new Star Park area called Medieval Manor.
Draco is a master storyteller, conjuring up images of dragons and flames for visitors to Star Park.
He's a close-range brawler and wields a weaponized guitar, which deals more damage when it hits an enemy directly with the tip.
As a tank, his super will charge with each bit of damage it takes.
When his super has been charged, Draco will mount a mighty beast of legend. his inflatable dragon.
While riding his trusty dragon, Draco will have increased movement speed and damage reduction, as well as a new area of effect attack, blasting out fire in front of him.
This makes Draco a formidable opponent while his super is activated, allowing him to control key areas and enemies for his team.
Who doesn't love unicorns? Barry.
Barry is a tough and dry guy who was hired by Mandy to work at the candy shop in a unicorn costume.
He has to endure Chester's pranks and Mandy's chaos every day, but very deep in his cold heart, he's happy he has this family.
He attacks with melted ice cream that damages enemies and also deals damage over time, and also heals teammates because friends like ice cream. Ice cream is great.
During his super, he dashes forward using his tail like a tasty tornado, splashing ice cream all around him. Ice cream.
And Barry also has an interesting trait. He can actually charge his super by healing teammates. Don't you just love ice cream? I mean,
A
Barry.
new brawler enters the fray. Meet Clancy, the shellfish soldier.
Psst. He's not a real lobster, but don't tell him that.
Clancy is a mythic damage dealer who can upgrade up to 3 times during a match by hitting brawlers with his dual paintball guns.
This is similar to how Surge works, but with a twist. Clancy also upgrades his super at each stage.
At his default stage 1, Clancy will fire a single shot with his basic attack and fire a torrent of bullets with his super.
At stage 2, he fires 2 shots in quick succession, and his super will cover a much larger area.
At stage 3, Clancy shoots Sidewinder paintballs from his tail, adding some diagonal attack pattern. He also moves faster when using his super. Look at him go!
One geezer who loves cheese.
Mo is a blind rat who was found living in the Star Park sewers and adopted by Grom.
Now part of the Star Park maintenance team, Mo uses his special digging abilities to maintain the sewer tunnels and wreak havoc in Brawl.
Mo uses his shovels as weapons that throw stones across the map and deal area damage with each bounce.
When he activates his super, Mo climbs into his hand-built digging machine and travels across the map to destroy whatever is there.
He may be small, but he sure knows how to cause big trouble.
Mo
You will
is a...
never defeat me. Omae wa shinderu. Nani?
It's about time Star Park got a sushi joint, and with it comes a legendary assassin, Kenji.
This samurai turned sushi chef has a wholesome life with his family in Star Park, but we can't help feel he's trying to hide something from his past.
Kenji has 2 separate attack patterns which alternate with each attack. A dash and a wide slash.
For his super, Kenji targets an area with a super slash, dealing heavy damage and becoming invulnerable for a short period.
The Sushi Samurai will be joining Star Park and starting his own trio on September 26th. He will new brawler, Juju.
There's bad Juju, but not here. It's good Juju only.
Juju is the owner of the Oddities shop and is a creepy voodoo child.
She is a mythic artillery who has created various pets, each with special elemental powers.
Juju cycles through 3 attack types, each with different effects.
Grass has increased range.
Earth deals increased damage.
And water will slow down enemies.
These 3 different attacks make her a very versatile brawler, able to handle any situation.
She's got friends on the other side, in particular, Gree. He is summoned by her super and will chase the nearest enemy to throw needles at them. Bit mean, but he is a weird voodoo doll.
Oh, and Juju can walk on water. She can control the elements after all.
New brawler, Shade.
Do you ever get freaked out by the pile of clothes in your room that looks like a person?
Well, Shade is here to freak you out. Just kidding. It's a sweet pile of clothes at heart.
It's the final member of the Ghost Station trio and Guz's buddy.
Shade is an epic assassin and a pile of clothes who mysteriously became sentient. Hey, don't ask me how, I just work here.
Shade flows across the map, across water, and this is the really cool part. With its super, it can even move through walls.
It's gonna spook you wherever you are.
Its basic attack deals damage in a cone shape in front of it. It deals more damage if you hit enemies right in the center, and
This is the really cool part.
its attack actually goes through walls.
Be able to play Buzz Lightyear in Brawl Stars. And the best of all, he is free!
He'll only be available for a limited time.
Once you unlock Buzz, he'll be at infinity level with everything unlocked and have 3 different modes.
Buzz Lightyear shoots a laser that, once it hits, deals burning damage over time. And for his super, he fires his laser in a large cone area and still deals damage over time.
In Saber mode, Buzz Lightyear uses melee attack, so he deals great damage in a cone in front of him. With his super, he takes off dealing damage and knocking back enemy brawlers around him once he lands.
Buzz Lightyear shoots 2 projectiles that deal more damage the closer to the target he is. He also uses his wings to jump higher and drops bombs during his flight.
He also has a hypercharge, which doesn't affect his super, but still increases his damage, speed, and defense.
defense.
Buzz Lightyear also comes with his own Space Ranger Mastery track, with items you can unlock during his stay in the game, so make sure to get them all before they are gone.
He starts at 0 trophies like any other brawler, but every trophy you collect with Buzz Lightyear will count as a season trophy.
Buzz Lightyear will be available in any game mode but ranked. You can claim him from December 12th and he'll be playable until the 4th of February. New Brawler. Meepo is a mysterious being who knows every rule of every board game and is obsessed with them.
In Meeple's presence, nobody is allowed to break the rules, except Meeple themselves.
Meeple's main attack fires projectiles that slightly home towards the nearest enemy.
And for their super, Meeple will cheat and roll a nat 21 on a d20, which allows Meeple and their teammates to pierce through environments and brawlers with their attacks.
Meepo will not be released with a value pack like we usually do, but will instead be in the Pizza Planet shop. So I will repeat it. Collect and save enough pizza slices and you can get Meepo for free. Hey Drew, do a kickflip.
Of course, bro. I'm a pro skater.
New Brawler. Ollie is a new type of brawler, a taunter, joining Star Park.
Ollie's a fan of old school hip hop and rides a custom hoverboard, blasting his favorite tunes wherever he goes. His beats are so infectious, the brawlers can't help but dance when they hear them.
When you use his super, Ollie dashes forward and starts blasting beats. These beats will taunt enemy brawlers until his mixtape stops playing.
For his main attack, Ollie fires sound waves that deal damage around him.
First new brawler for the next update is called Sphinx. You know, like the Sphinx, genius name. Sphinx is the owner of the Star Park escape room. Oh, and he can also casually control time.
He likes to keep the escape room experience interesting for visitors.
And in-game, he plays the same way.
Sphinx's main attack is Chronocast. He fires 3 projectiles forward, with the outer 2 dealing less damage than the first. This allows him to control a bit more of an area as he has more chances to hit.
His super, Time Warp, warps time in an area, decreasing the projectile speed of enemy brawlers caught in the Time Warp, and increasing them for himself and his teammates.
With this gadget, Fang steps back in time, returning to the position he was at 3 seconds before, while also restoring to the max ammo that he had during those 3 seconds.
With his star power Hieroglyph Halt, Fang reduces the reload speed of any enemy brawlers hit by his main attack for a few seconds.
With his other star power, Primer, damage dealt by Fang and any teammates affected by Fang's super will increase its duration.
The next brawler of the update is part of the Medieval Manor trio, a badass metal drummer named Lumi. She controls the powers of fire and ice, which reflects both sides of her personality. And we are pretty sure that Draco has a crush on her, but don't tell him we told you.
Lumi wields 2 Morning Stars, which she can throw at enemies to deal damage. Once she has thrown them both, she will recall them, dealing damage again if any enemies are caught in their path.
Lumi's Blast Beat super unleashes 3 heavy slams that cause area damage, with the 3rd slam actually rooting enemies.
With her Hit the Lights gadget, Lumi ignites her Morning Stars that are on the ground, creating damage, dealing flames.
With her other gadget,
Grim and Frostbitten.
Lumi creates freezing winds around any Morning Stars on the ground.
Her first star power, Half Time, will make any enemies caught in the path of returning Morning Stars be slowed.
With her star power 42% burn, Lumi's super will also set areas hit by her slams on fire.
If you got all the references in her ability names, you get a gold star.
And the first Ultra Legendary Brawler, Kaze. All Ultra Legendary Brawlers will have something unique and special about them, and Kaze is no exception. She's actually 2 brawlers in one.
Kaze was raised to be a living ninja weapon by her parents, but she always wanted to be a geisha. When she met Kenji, she escaped to open their restaurant in Star Park.
Kaze lives her life as a geisha. However, you can change into the ninja aspect in-game, unleashing her deadly skills.
You can switch between her 2 aspects instantly, just like me in social situations.
In her geisha aspect, she wields bladed fence and will dash forward to attack from up close. In her ninja aspect, she throws deadly shuriken from afar, dealing more damage to closer targets.
So let's dive into her geisha aspect. Kaze has a unique main attack, which has a strike spot. If you can hit an enemy inside this strike spot, you deal extra damage and trigger certain abilities.
Her super is Fun Storm, which covers an area, reducing visibility for those trapped inside and damaging them if they try to leave.
Her star powers make her even more efficient. She slows any enemy hit in a weak spot, or she can remove ammo from brawlers caught in her fan storm.
Her gadgets give bonuses to her ninja aspect, giving increased movement speed after switching or invisibility.
Kaze's ninja aspect skills allow you to take out multiple enemies at once.
Her ninja aspect super dashes Kaze through enemies, marking them. Marked enemies then take damage after a few seconds, just like the movies.
You will never defeat me. Omae wa shinderu. Nani?
Her first star power causes marked enemies to deal area damage to other enemies when defeated. Her second star power gives all effects triggered when changing to the ninja aspect a 50% longer duration.
Her ninja gadgets provide bonuses to her geisha aspects when switching, with one healing and the other performing a dash, which is perfect when you need to move like the wind and escape.
Are you saying we'll have to unlock 4 star powers, 4 gadgets, and 2 hypercharges? Greedy cell?
No, silly. If you unlock them for one aspect, they are unlocked for the other.
Yes, you heard that right. Kaze is releasing with 2 hypercharges, one for each of her aspects. Catch them later in the hypercharge
The other
section.
brawler coming with the next update is Jae-Yong, karaoke god. But he might be a bit delusional.
Jae-Yong is a bored middle-aged office worker who freaking loves karaoke. As soon as he leaves work, he heads to karaoke to sing his heart out.
Jae-Yong works hard and plays hard. He has 2 different main attack modes that he can activate to throw a different piercing projectile at anyone who will stop him from singing karaoke.
In party mode, he heals teammates. In work mode, he deals less damage but gives speed boosts to teammates and himself.
To change modes, you use Jae-Yong's super, mix it up. Activating his super also activates a corresponding buff. Switching to party mode will heal all nearby teammates, while switching to work mode gives all nearby teammates a temporary movement speed boost.
His 2 star powers, the crowd goes mild and extra high note, give teammates near Jae-Yong a speed boost and allow any attacks to do more damage once they have pierced the target.
His gadget Weekend Warrior deals area damage and increases main attack damage temporarily, and Time for a Slow Song lets Jae-Yong slow enemies around him and leaves trails of boring, slowing paperwork.